Welcome to the shop. Welcome everybody, welcome to Garage Groove. Thank you for joining us, and let's talk about what we have for you this week. So, we are getting close to the point where we're going to start seeing that white stuff falling, and it could be very heavy at times. I don't know if I'm going to be able to squeeze in another project before the snow falls. So instead of cutting episodes, I've decided to make my job into an episode. And that's what we're looking at right here. This is a snowblower. And this is one of my Facebook marketplace scores. It's a bigger one, but we're going to go through it. But really quickly, before we get into the snowblower, I wanted to give you an update on Imran's BMX, this dyno. Now, I know we had talked about squeezing this in as one of the first projects. Well, it just so happened that we had some of our parts come in this week that we had been waiting for a long time. And keep in mind, we're trying to keep this bike correct. This is a very special unit, and it's not something, it's just the opposite of what we did with Sophian's motorcycle. How we modified and tweaked and adjusted and improvised and cut and welded and all these things that we did to his bike to make it work is just the opposite. This is going to be a correct bike. There's going to be absolutely no modifications done on this bike. And for that reason, we are ordering all the correct parts, all the time period correct units for this bicycle. But unfortunately, the parts that came in were wrong. They did not fit. So, and as pricey as they were, I had to return them immediately and get refunded. So that puts this project behind the clock a little bit, but it's okay. You know, I talked with Imran, he's okay with it. It's November, bicycle season is pretty much over. So we will bring this guy back into the light, maybe near spring. We'll work on it and put it all back together because it's a beautiful bike, and I am very excited to see how it looks and performs. When we're done with it, it should be very period correct and very beautiful. But we have to wait on it. So, and then we have some other stuff coming up. We had talked about Faison's RM80. We're going to do that. We have this beast, this monster. We have to do something with that swing arm, if you remember from the Andover trip. So we're going to fix that and correct this bike. We have the TL we're going to work on. But in between all of that, I got priorities. And unfortunately, this is one of my priorities. We have to be ready to deal with significant amounts of snow. Let's take a look at this guy. We have here a Yardman, and these aren't super high-end machines or nothing, but I scored pretty good on it, and it's a 32-inch wide, which is considered for a push mower or for a push snowblower. It's a bigger one. Looks like we have some rust issues going on. Looks like there's some stuff here that's tangled up. I'm not sure how far yet we're gonna go with this. So our initial goal is to get this thing running and get this thing moving properly, and then whatever we need to do afterwards to make it better or to I don't know if we're gonna have time to restore it, but we will do, okay? But the first thing is to get it running and see how it performs just the way it sits. We're gonna take a look at all the components. The engine has not been started. The guy I got it from said it was part of a home that he had purchased, and he had brought his own snowblower, which was a far newer unit, and he just wanted to get rid of it. So I scored on it and got a good deal on it. And yeah, so this is a 9.5 horse electric start. The tires look like they're in a good shape. This looks like somebody put a terrible paint job on it. I wouldn't mind popping that off. I think it's not that hard. We have 1, 2, 3, probably 3 on the other side. We'll check the belts. We'll get the motor running, do an oil change, maybe change the carb. We'll check the cables. There's quite a bit here, and I really want the headlight to work as well, because it gets dark quick. And look how nasty this spark plug is. I just noticed that. It's all rusted, and I don't know what to expect out of this thing, but it is what it is, right? That's what we do here on Garage Groove. And instead of doing it off camera and calling it a job that I had to do, so I had to take a moment away from the channel, we're just going to feed it right through the channel so you guys can be with us. We're going to get this thing running. We're going to get it running good, and then we'll decide what type of adjustments we need to do to it. I really wouldn't mind putting a nice coat of maybe that red or something on it, but we'll just have to see. They're calling for snow next week. I think the first thing we need to do is to get it running and get it running good. So we will start working on it. We'll see you in just a minute. There you go. Okay. Let's take a look at this moist place. Okay, so we want to check for spark. Oh yeah. We got good spark.
Yeah, I remember that little Bills football I had about a year ago? How much do you bet that got stolen?
You think?
Oh yeah, someone stole that.
Oil is
Kind of low.
nice and black.
Yeah.
Grab me a paper towel, bud.
Yeah, all of our football.
See, the oil is nice and black. Not nice and black, but at least it's full, so that's a good sign. Okay, so now we're gonna put the plug back in, and we're gonna rip on this thing, see if we can get it to fire. Okay, nice and brown. Kind of a light
Black
brown.
is not good. You want like an apple cider then.
Yeah, you want like an apple cider, like a light brown?
Yeah, so that means it's burning good.
It's burning good.
The explosions are powerful.
Yes, it's good.
That's nice. That's stupid lines.
That's the,
That's pretty good. First pull on this thing ever.
let's see.
That stupid scared me. I jumped.
I bet you that carb's bad. That's what it is. Yeah, it's got an electric start on it, so let's try it. I'll put the roll back. So let's plug this.
So that's when you just plug it in.
if it'll allow me to do so. Let's see here. That's it.
Carb.
Carb's bad.
Engine's perfectly good.
Oh.
Put oil on it and gas. That's
Yep.
like. That's one of those type.
Hello everybody. So we're back on the SnowBlower, and I just wanted to let you know, so we did order the carburetor, but it's coming from California, so that's going to take a while. So one thing I do with high priority tools like a snowblower, like it could snow tomorrow or it could snow the next day, it's going to take probably a good week or better for the new carburetor to come in. So what I'm going to do in the meantime, I don't want to waste that time. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take this carburetor off right here. And we're going to clean it and we're going to put it on. Hopefully it's so to siphon the gas, what I do is I just use a simple pump like this. And you can see it, it's even flowing right now. You just pump it a couple times. Look at that. I gave that one pump and it's just going. So we want to drain that tank. Okay, well, we took the carb off. Look how nasty and dirty and black this thing is. It's pretty nasty. It's pretty nasty. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and clean this thing. Clean it and hook it back up. We'll see you back with the nice clean carb. Well, I just started to take the carb apart and I noticed how bad this is. Look how that's kind of turned yellow. That's a sign that cheap gas was sitting for a long time. This machine has not been ran in a long time. And look at this. This float don't even work. This should spring open on its own. I can't imagine how dirty things are inside. Well, we're going to go ahead and keep taking it apart. There's a lot of rust in here too, so it tells me there's condensation or water in the tank or something. I don't know. There's the carb setup. We have the outside bracket there. Here's one of the jets. Here's the needle. There's the pin. There's the body. There's the choke mechanism. There's the float itself, and there's the bowl. That's the whole setup right there. And we're going to clean every single little piece, starting with this little pin. The needle you got to be careful with. You can clean that, but you got to be careful. This is going to be nice clean brass when we're done. Same with this guy. That's the main jet. That's going to be a nice brass when we're done. That's going to be all clean aluminum. That's going to be cleaned. The housing is going to be cleaned. And then I usually run this stuff right here. Carburetor and intake cleaner. So once everything is cleaned, we're gonna spray all of that all through the housing, and we're gonna clean everything with it. Then we'll put it all back together, and it should purr like a kitten. Purr like a kitten. That's what we want. So, okay, so we cleaned this carb. You can see now how you see the float comes down. That's exactly how a float should work. Before, it was stuck. You see, the gravity will bring it down. And that's what stops it. It pushes that needle up. See right now? And when that float goes up, when the bowl fills up with gas, this is a float. So it'll go like this, it'll float, and then that needle, that's, I don't know if you can see that. You see that needle going up and down, that's what stops the gas. If this doesn't work, you're either not getting gas or it's getting too much and it's flooding. This is very important. So we'll tug on it. Still acting a little funny. I see the headlight works. Okay, though. Everybody. So what we have done is we have cleaned our old carburetor on the SnowBlower, and we're gonna go ahead and try it. I had to actually clean the jets twice. It wasn't quite acting right the first time, so I took the carburetor off. I cleaned it again. I actually took a little guitar string. As everybody knows, I'm into guitars, so I clipped a little bit off the G string, which is the third string from the top, or third string from the bottom. I clipped it and it fit through the holes in the jets fine, and I cleaned them up a little bit better. And then we just reinstalled the carb. I have primed it, and I'm getting ready. Seems to be purring pretty good now. Nice headlight. It's loud as hell. So after cleaning the carb, it seems to run pretty good. Like I said, I'm gonna clean it up a little bit on the outside, and I'm also gonna lube up the cables. That's gonna be off camera, but that's what she is, man. Okay, so what we have done so far is we have gone through and we have pulled out all of that junk that was in the rotisserie here, the auger. We took all of that out. We did a nice oil change on it. I have to lube up the cables a little bit. I'll probably end up doing that off camera, but I don't have any of my helpers here today. They're all in school right now. I got back from my regular work, and I figured, as you can see, we've already seen hints of snow. So we woke up today and there was a little bit of snow. Nothing significant, but it's time to get this thing going. So like I said, we've done the oil change on it. I've cleaned up the auger. I will lube up the cables and everything. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna set up my camcorder here, and we're gonna run it up and down the driveway a little bit to make sure the auger and everything turns, and it should. So let's go ahead and get this thing started, and we'll put a wrap on this episode. And unfortunately, we will be anticipating the snow. It is what it is. So let's do that. We'll see you in a minute. Okay, so that was our this week's episode on Garage Groove, our priority episode, as I call it. I had to do it anyways, and might as well feed it through the channel, right? Thanks for joining us, everybody. The SnowBlower is probably going to be a work in progress, because I do want to make it look somewhat better. I'm going to paint it up and lube up the cables and stuff like that, but it's a nice machine. You know, it's a bigger one, and we're ready for the snow, you know, unfortunately, but it's that time of the year. So again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking, and stay with us. We got cool stuff coming up. As you can see, we've been working on the plastics on that. So we'll be sharing that with you pretty soon. Thank you. Take care. We'll see you soon.